Yeah,
Hello,
we are.
everyone. Yes, I think we are. Welcome to this Upekkha webinar. My name is Robin Singhvi. I'm the CEO and founder of SmartCue, which is a sales enablement platform for sales teams to deliver personalized product demos. We're going to discuss how startups can sell to the global market and lessons that are relevant, especially for early stage founders, but can really be applied for startups across the board. We'll discuss the do's and don'ts and talk about best practices in sales and marketing to sell to global customers. To provide us with these insights, I have Vinay from OceanFrogs, who has graciously agreed to share his learnings. Hi, Vinay. Good afternoon. Would you like to quickly introduce yourself, please?
Hi. Well, Robin, thank you very much. And Upekkha, thank you very much too. I'm Vinay, and I'm CEO of OceanFrogs. And OceanFrogs is in the business of sales intelligence, helping tech platforms provide them sales intelligence, account research.
Excellent, excellent. So Vinay, can you dive a little bit deeper into it? Dive into the problem you are actually solving for your customers with OceanFrogs?
Yeah. So let me tell you how we started. So when
Sure.
I was working somewhere, I identified that sales and pre-sales, they could benefit by better intelligence about the accounts that they are targeting. And, what technology are they using? What technology are prospects using? What are they investing in? And I thought, is there a way to automate that? So what OceanFrogs does today is identify the technologies that the customers are using, what are the areas they invest in, and we provided two technology platforms such as Postman, Lambda Test, Browser Stack. These are our typical ICP or customer profiles. So these are the ones. And all the mid-market and enterprise, they do invest a lot in their sales, knowing enough about accounts, about their buyers, about the account profiles, and they invest a lot. Even companies like TCS will have huge army of people doing market research manually. So our goal, our mission is to automate all that and provide a personalized intelligence to the customers. Oh,
Wait, did
sorry.
we lose Vinay? Hey, Vinay.
Yeah, I'm
Just lost
there.
you there
Can
for
you
a
hear?
second.
Yeah,
All good.
that's
Yes, I
great.
can hear you
Yeah.
now. So Vinay, you mentioned a couple of companies like Browser Stack and Postman. Do you want to talk a little bit more about that, like your customers, your ICP, whether it's enterprise or SMB, and how are you kind of
Yeah.
classifying them?
See, so most of our customers are mid-market and enterprises. Now, mid-market and enterprises are the ones who will have good number of sales reps, who will have a need of account research. And also our customers are who are doing outbound approach or outreach approach. Right? So we do choose customers who are mainly in outbound approach, who do sell to outside India, who do have inside sales team, and who do have a ticket size of more than $5,000. And it took us a while to come up with that definition. It was not on the day one. It took us, like years to get there. And excuse me.
Okay.
And why? So companies invest all this money on account research when they have international clients, because tend to think that you do know enough about your clients in the same geography or in India, but when you target Singapore or APAC or US, then you want to do more account research. Why? Because you have inside sales team there. So we do provide services or product only to inside sales teams, or when sales when sales reps are sitting in India or at our remote location trying to convert. Then we are the best, most suitable.
Got it. Got it. It was interesting that you mentioned that $5,000 or more is the amount that you decided to narrow down
Yeah,
on when picking your ICP. What was the logic there? I mean, I know
that's
you
what
did a lot of
their
trial and
ACV
error, but
should be. That's what
that's what
their
their ACV should
ACV should be. Yeah, because otherwise they will not be doing outreach marketing, outreach approach. If
be.
somebody is
Got it.
selling for $1,000 or so, or even for 3,000, they will be first checking whether their inbound approach works or not. right? And most, if it's a small ticket size, then inbound will work better, or inbound is generally known for a small. When you do outbound, you want to go for the big ticket size. Now, whether it's a 3,000 or 5,000, that's just, experiment, or that's a hypothetical number. But what we
Right.
believe is that based on our conversation with our customers, we know that they are targeting 50,000 and more also, right? So when should they not do outbound marketing? That's another question. And I do
Hmm.
think that they should do focus on inbound or other channels, or go through platforms such as HubSpot or others if their ACV is less than 3,000 or less than 5,000. But if you have more than 5,000, outbound approach might work, or outbound approach might give you return on investment, right? And then
Interesting.
only you will like to put an army of sales reps. Then
Right.
only you will want to have touch points and LinkedIn and every the entire sales tech.
Yeah.
And so it makes sense that we will target clients who are doing who are who do have good ACVs.
Got it. Got it. And Vinay, how many customers does Ocean Frog have at this point in time?
OceanFrogs right now have 15 recurring customers. So,
Nice.
and but in the last 4 years, we have served more than 55. Initially, we were more service driven, and we had many different use cases from enterprise itself or mid market. But gradually, we figured out the ones that are recurring.
Right.
Gradually, we figured out the ones that are the real pain for them, and where they
Yeah.
are, where we are solving a big problem, and also where we can scale it up, right?
Right.
So with that, some customers have churn, and these are the 15 that we are focused on right now.
Right. Got it. So this is just I'm listening to you, and I want to kind of link it back. So now you have 15 recurring customers that for whom you are solving a specific problem, right? So if you
Yeah.
had to explain the exact problem that you're solving in maybe two or three sentences, how would you do that?
See, these customers, they want to know who are their best fit accounts in the US market. Who should they approach instead of approaching millions of accounts? So what OceanFrogs platform does is give them the best fit or the most recommended accounts and their buyers that they should target.
Nice. Okay,
That's
makes sense.
that's all. Yeah.
That's very interesting, and that makes a lot of sense. So we've all heard of companies like ZoomInfo and Apollo and things like that. So
Yeah.
how is Ocean Frogs a better alternative to companies like a ZoomInfo?
So based on the discussion with our prospects and our customers, they have come to us when technology data is a must for them. When technology data and the quality and accuracy of technology data is very important. We call it technographics data. So what technographics data is that who is using software such as SAP SuccessFactor, or what are the technology stacks of a company, right? Like for example, browser stack will want to target companies who are using Selenium, right? So that type of technographics information is where we are better than Zoom Info. Second is that the CSaaS industry is revolutionizing, and traditional filters or traditional data will not work anymore, or will you will still have needs and wants that traditional databases and intelligence will not provide. For example, these days companies are also targeting by that what are the prospects selling, or what are the
Right,
prospects products and solutions, right? What category do they belong to? Are they e-commerce company or not? That's also another question. Are they SaaS company or not? That's so these are the new filters in this generation, and we do have those new filters while Zoom Info doesn't, right? So technographics plus new filters is what makes us unique.
interesting. And so how are you pricing Ocean Frogs' offering? I know you said that you moved from a services offering to a more productized
Yeah.
offering, and now you've kind of nailed the problem that you're solving. So how are you pricing it?
See, so just like any other company, we are also interested in annual customers who will want to do annual contracts with us, right? So mainly our focus is on getting those annual customers, and for annual customers, you know, there are two type of products that we have. One is APAC intelligence, for Asia Pacific intelligence. That goes anywhere in between $7,000 to $10,000 for the annual ticket price, and you can sell that to mid market. Right, mid market and enterprises will go for 7,000, and for an enterprise, APAC $10,000 is not a big deal. It's
Right.
just APAC is a small market. That's why we don't increase it more than 10,000. For the US market, we have to keep it in comparison to Zoom Info, Slentel, and other competitors, right? Though, and
Right.
now Zoom Info keeps doing discounts and experiments too. So in between, for a mid market, it will go for 15,000. For an enterprise, it will go for 25,000. Now, furthermore, it's bucketed by regions, right? So like for APAC, you will sell it, as I said, 7 to 10,000. For North America, it
Mhm.
will go 20,000. If you want to have Middle East also, that will go for another 7 to 12. So it goes by the region. The North America is the largest product, right? It will go for
Right.
$20,000. So every other
Got
can
it.
go in between 7 to 10. So if I'm selling it to an enterprise and they have four regions to target, it could, we can easily stack up to $40,000. Am I there,
Nice.
or
Nice.
am I
Yeah.
losing
No.
you?
That. No. No. I'm here. I'm here. Can you hear me? Hey, Vinay. Hello.
I think,
I'm here.
Robin, I'm losing you.
I'm here. I can hear you loud and clear.
I'm just waiting, guys, for Robin to come back. Just give me a minute.
Hey, Vinay. I'm here.
Okay. Yeah, I can hear.
Okay. Great. Great.
Okay, Robin, go
Are we,
ahead.
are we back? Okay, all right. So I think talking about geography, I think that lends itself nicely to moving into the next segue. Is that when you think about sales and marketing across geographies and things like that. So uh, at a high level for Ocean Frogs, what is your marketing mix between inbound and outbound, and what are the activities that you
No,
actually
I'm
do
not
right
able
now?
to hear actually. So just, should we come back to it? Maybe we should try coming back to it.
Sure, sure. I'm here, Vinay. Whenever you can come back. Great.
Hi,
All
Robin,
right.
should we come back to it?
Yes,
Are you there?
I am here. Are you not able to hear me?
Okay, you're still there. So cool, go ahead.
I
Now I can hear you.
you can? Okay, okay. So I was asking you that what is Ocean Frog's marketing mix? Like how do you split your resources between inbound and outbound, and what does that look like? No luck? Okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna type out my question because it seems like
No.
Vinay, you can see my chat. So go ahead and respond, I think.
Okay. Well, see, so okay, now I can see you. So it's a pretty. So I will tell you, about the marketing mix. Because the audience might be the people who are joining new. So now we are mainly focused on inbound because inbound is giving us really good returns. Though at the same time, we help people who are doing inbound or outbound. For us, inbound is working very good, and inbound is where we are, determined to go take, invest more. Another channel that works for me is referral. It can be referral from a partner or a reseller or referral in general. So these are the two channels who give me the highest number of leads. Outbound is the third one, right? So I am focused mainly on inbound and referral channel.
Okay. Okay.
So for
Vinay, can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear
Okay,
you.
cool. Cool. So, do you want to talk a little bit more about your inbound and referral? Um,
Yeah,
I personally am very interested in it because that obviously is like the biggest driver if you want to get to like a
yeah,
low CAC and higher LTV, right?
yeah,
So tell us a
yeah.
little bit more about that.
So, in for us, inbound is all organic, right? So it's been 2 years since we are investing in organic inbound, and it's not that So and it took in the beginning when I was figuring out whether inbound will work or outbound will work. I experimented with both to figure out that which one will work and which can be scaled up,
Hmm.
right? And because of the business that we are in, it was easy for us to experiment with inbound in a duration of 1 month. So we said, okay, for 1 month, we are just going to experiment and then decide. And we were able to see that, yes, on our website, we can get the people who are searching for something, right? So the first validation was that if somebody is searching for something and you can get him on or her on your website, that's a small win. That's not bad.
Right.
That does mean that you can convert them further. That does mean you have just, started your top funnel, right? So now we might not have done the things right in the right SEO technical manner, but we did it and we knew that our top funnel is working. So then we decided that we will invest more in inbound and more in inbound organic. Why
Okay.
did we not go for the paid channels? Because they were very costly for my feed, right? The CPC, the cost per click was very costly, unaffordable, and my competitors are bidding on every damn keyword that you could think of. And they have, like companies like New Lucia, though they might
Right.
not be our direct competitor, but they have, eaten up every keyword out there, right? So we have to
Interesting.
figure out, right? So inbound isn't, perhaps an affordable channel. Outbound
Okay.
takes longer to be good or to be perfect or start giving you results, and but inbound gives you results quicker. It gave results quicker in hour, but the ticket size will be smaller because most of the people who
Mm.
will be coming inbound will be manager and below, right?
Got it.
And but we were fortunate enough, that though we had one unique product that my competitors did not have, and inbound volume was high, right? So in the beginning, we are able to eat from there, and our top funnel, we
Interesting.
were able to convert them to bottom funnel too. So then we could see that it's working for one product. So then we said, okay, why not for others? Because the audience is similar. We are targeting B2B marketers, demand generation, sales intelligence, and this audience is such that they are coming to internet, they are searching on internet. So the first thing
Right.
that one has to do is figure out whether your audience is searching for something on internet or not, right? And whether you can get them organically or not. So those two things we did establish. Yes, they are searching. Yes, we can get them organically. And yes, there is at least one product offering that we can get them compared to our competitors who are richer, right?
Right.
So these are, so let's say these are the three things that we did that gave us confidence. And remember, I am not experienced in inbound marketer, right? So I had to learn it on the go. And but when these three things were done, then we were focused on how to increase our top funnel. We're still not talking about the bottom funnel, but only top funnel, right? And we started producing content. Now there are two, so every industry will have content, ways of generating content. In our
Right.
case, we were again fortunate that we can generate content automatically or using APIs because we have a lot of databases. So we experimented
Interesting.
with that, but Google did not help us there. Google penalized us for that. So we had to redo the entire thing. So now we are at a stage that our top funnel is really good. We are focused on building the content hub, and our idol, is a HubSpot. We like to, we make sure that our content is high quality, it's useful, it's meaningful for our audience. And not only are we doing it for the SEO for the organic channel, but we are doing it for the other channels also. Because in inbound you have to focus not only on page or but off page also. Okay,
Right.
so I will
Right.
shut up here, and I will see that in case I need to talk more about it, I will do that. So,
Sure. So, I mean, I think this is a good question from the community for content creation for your organic inbound marketing mix. What kind of budgets did you allocate, or have you allocated right now?
So see, in content, more so I will come to the budget, but more than the budget, it's a skill set that you need to have, right? So content,
Absolutely.
there are two or three different type of content that you need to create, like web copy. So in web copy, I did not compromise at all. I said I will take the best copy writer available in the country,
Mm,
right? And to give you, so
okay.
suppose I have five product pages. Each one I paid more than 10,000 to 15,000 rupees. So I spent 50,000 rupees only on the content or the copywriting of the website. 50,000, right? It's affordable. If you talk to companies like Yellow.ai, they might have invested 6 to 8 lakh rupees on the
Sure.
entire redevelopment of the website and in 1 month. But because we need to do it in a bootstrap manner, in an affordable manner, I spent 50,000 rupees on the development of the web copy only. Then, excuse me, then I have to go to graphic designer. That again, I decided I'm not gonna compromise. These are the two things I don't compromise. Why? Because if your customer is American, they like to read a good copy, right?
Right.
And I have experimented writing copywriting for last 2 years, and I just cannot nail down the best copy, right? So I said I'm gonna work with an expert, and so I did spend 50 or maybe 60,000 rupees on that, and then I went to a web designer, and there I might have spent 30 to 40,000 rupees total in all the
Got it.
pages and graphics. Yeah, sorry.
Nice. Got it.
So
I might
19,000.
actually, yeah, I might
Yeah,
actually
sure.
reach out to you for a referral to your
Yeah,
copywriter.
yeah,
I'm sure
please.
I could yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah. So, and do you want to talk a little bit about your referral program? I mean, have you
yeah,
created a program for referrals, or
yeah.
is it more, personal touch?
Initially it was personal touch, and so like I have I have an advisor from Gartner who will give me leads, right? So but made it official. I will start giving them a discount or a commission on success, right? So initially it was just because initially they were the one who were giving leads, but then I thought, wait, can I do the same thing with all the other vendors in marketing? So I
Mhm.
started approaching freelancers and even copywriters, or like sales enablement service providers, and I told them that, could you give me leads? So right now I have a partner referral of 40 partners, and I
Nice.
nurture them every month.
Okay.
It's not that they will remember you throughout the year and they are waiting to give you leads. You have to nurture them too. You have to tell them why you are good, right? And these partners, they can give you small leads, small ticket size, and large ticket size. It's up to you, So I will take small leads too in the beginning from them. These days I
Yes.
have started saying no, but in the beginning I took a small leads too. So I have an audience of partners, of resellers of 40 only, 40, but I nurture them every damn month. And I get one lead from them every damn month, right?
That
So
that
only
that
one
makes a
lead.
lot of sense.
Yeah, but it's a lead is qualified. It's a SQL or better than SQL. So you don't have to qualify the leads or struggle. The pricing is also known to them before. So I get 12 leads in a year through referral partners. I got Oracle
Very nice.
as a client through referral partner. I got some other clients also through referral partners. So I cannot
Sure.
name all of them, but
Yeah, yeah, of
so
course.
yeah,
No, that's actually really helpful, Vinay, because a lot of people think about creating a partner referral program, but then miss out on the nurturing portion because these
yeah,
same partners probably are being
yeah,
bombarded with a lot of information from a lot of different
yeah,
people for whom they are
mm,
partners, right? So how do
yeah.
you ensure that you are top of mind, right? I think that
Yeah,
that
yeah,
piece is
yeah. That's
is critical.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
that makes sense.
yeah,
So, if we're talking about leads and talking about partners giving you leads, This is after after you sort of set up your processes for a while. But how
Yeah,
did you actually
yeah.
find your first customer? Like maybe the first five, or let's just talk about the first customer.
So first customer is all through referrals in my case. No, I didn't
Yeah.
know cold calling or cold outbound or inbound. For me, at least the first five customers came from referral. But again,
Okay.
that was not a disorganized approach though.
Okay.
The organized part there was that I will keep them updated every month. So every month, without the CRM in the beginning, I will write an email, and this is what we are doing. This is what our small wins are. This is what we plan to do in this quarter, and I will keep doing it. In the beginning, it was all at the personal level. Like I will write, and but gradually I learned to write the copy for that also. How should the subject line be? How should the copy be? How should the ending be? And yeah, so the list increased from 1 to 40 grad, right? The partners. So
Right.
the initial five customers came from there. Initial five customers also were pilot customers, right? Initially, all you get is pilot, and you don't know who will convert to be a big one. So most of the initial customers were pilot, and because we are in the data business, in the beginning it will be 3 months only. Even 3 months was a victory for us because we did not have the data for a year for that,
Yeah.
right? So and but because I had been in US and because my previous employer was also targeting US, so I knew folks in US too. So from day one, you know, we were very confused whether our customer is sales or marketer. We kept nurturing them both to see that where the
Okay.
response is coming. But from day one, I kept nurturing investors, advisors, and potential customers, and who we didn't know who our customer can be. So pe- people we thought that could be our customers from technology industry as well as non-technology industry.
Got it.
Right there. Yeah.
Got it. So Vinay, this sort of leads me to the next question, or leads the next
Mhm.
segment, is that
Sure.
these initial customers, were they all India based or were they US based that you
See,
had?
so out of five customers, two were US based, three were India based. I mean, two were US based, two were India based, one was Malaysia based.
Okay. Okay. So
So
so actually, so speaking about the US, right? So now, the 55 plus customers that you have, the 15 recurring that you have, I'm assuming are majority in the US. Is that right?
no, it's a mix of most of our
Okay.
customers are paying from US, but their
Yeah.
users are in India.
Interesting.
So
Got it.
yeah,
So, okay. Okay.
yeah. So invoices from US, user is in India.
Okay. Okay. So then, if we have to talk about the average sales cycle, right? How does it vary by your different regions or markets?
It doesn't vary actually. It's always sales cycles are always short for us. That's a good part.
Oh,
And
good. Nice.
yeah, so there again, see if it's through relationship, and if it's through enterprise, and where the need is not known, then it takes longer, right? Like we were part of Merck's innovation. So Merck's knew
Okay.
that they want to take help from us in their marketing and data, but they had a lot of problems. So it took them 9 months to figure out which problem should we approach first, right? So
Okay.
which problem should the OceanFrogs first. So enterprise customers, they like to work with startups. Why? Because we offer them something innovative, but it takes them longer to figure out how to engage, or how to take care of customer data privacy laws and all. And right, so and so in enterprise, sales cycle is longer, but because of all these issues like customer data privacy agreements and which problem to start with and all that. In the mid market, or a small one, 3 weeks is all we need. Why?
Interesting.
Because we are in the intelligence business.
Mhm.
So, right, so there is a benefit at least of data driven business compared to software, that you see
Right.
something on the screen, you see data, you see
Right.
intelligence, right? So it's not as tangible as a B2C, is, but you still see something. So if
Right.
no, so our customers, they look at the quality of the data intelligence, they look at the accuracy. If accuracy and quality is good, we have seen that the deal goes through, and it generally takes 3 weeks. If they don't convert in 3 weeks, we know that they are just fishing.
Got it. Got it. So you mentioned, Vinay, that your invoicing happens from the US while the users may be elsewhere, right? But
Yeah.
then does that mean that your decision makers for the folks who make the buying decisions, are they also in the US then? And how do you find them?
The person who has the money is in the US. Person who uses or influences or looks at the quality of intelligence that we provide is in India or other countries. Right now, how do we find them? So today, most of our leads are coming through inbound, and these
Hmm.
leads are coming, from US as well as India.
Hmm.
So, and we are actually getting enterprise leads also in the inbound today,
Right.
right? So that's,
Oh, wow.
but still, most of our leads are mid market or small customers through inbound, but we also get it. So, but you're right, so when inbound lead comes, mainly it comes from the influencer or the user. And the user, then we expose them to our platform for 7 days or even longer. Sometimes we have to show them a report or two. And after that, they connect us to their buyer.
Got it.
And we also have Salesforce as a customer. So in case of Salesforce, it was an inbound lead through an influencer,
Oh, wow.
and we did demo and all. And after that, the money came from the US, and it took a while to get that. Right, it took
Okay.
3 months or more. So yeah, so mostly influencers and users are in India. Buyer is in the US.
Interesting. So that actually brings an interesting question to my mind. Your buyers in the US, your influencer are perhaps scattered all over. Now, when an inbound lead comes into you, right? How do you take that lead from being a lead to qualifying it and then sort of closing it? Like, I mean, do you do demos? Do you have an SDR team? Like, what is your sales rhythm?
Yeah. So as soon as a lead comes in, we get to know. We have set up process now that we get to know. I get to know even, or and the sales representative gets to know. Now, on the other hand, we have decided that who is the customer that we should approach, right? And who is the customer we should not approach. Now, if it's a small customer, we will still entertain if they are ready to pay to us without us investing a lot of time, right? So, and there are many customers in the last 3 months who have paid on the platform without talking to us, or who can be who just are ready to be converted within an email. So, inbound team, sales rep Phil, will take care of that. Now, if it's a large customer or a mid market customer, and if it's a technology platforms, right? So if it fits my ICP, and can provide me more than $5,000 ACV, then only we will call them back.
Okay.
Right? Why? Why is that? Because my sales rep is the no. I don't want him to call everybody. So in the
Right.
beginning, we call everybody, right?
Right.
And we call everybody within 30 minutes.
Oh,
That's
wow.
ours,
Yeah.
right? That we call. But many times the user says, "Oh, we are still researching." So why I'm bringing that to your attention is that the behavior has significantly changed, according to me. So we do believe that the people in last 2 years are requesting that, hey, let us explore the platform first before you start, calling and pitching to us,
Right.
right? So we give them that breathing space. We don't call now within 30 minutes, but we call them the same day or the next day. And
Okay.
the approach that we have is that, hey, could I help you in certain ways instead of pitching again? Though, we are again, experimenting with it, whether it works or not, or should I go with the intention to pitch or not? So we have tried both. And what
Okay.
I do believe is that the buyer is the decision maker. I mean, the person who is coming to the website or the platform, he or she wants to take the time to take their decision. I cannot enforce upon it,
Right.
right? So either way, we have to give them the time. So we take a day or two before we call them, and then we do a demo. As you said, we do a discovery call and a demo. Sometimes we
Okay.
do only discovery call, right?
Okay.
But in the discovery call, if we know that this is an ideal customer, we do the demo right there. Right? So other thing that we are experimenting, folks, is that the other thing that we are impressing upon is that the client, if you give him a week or two to make a decision to come back to do the demo, they will go away, right? So
Okay.
we impress upon that okay, we have done the discovery. Can we do a demo tomorrow itself or the day after, right? So I have seen that
Mm,
if you give a gap of 3 or 4 days, there are high chances that they will go away. So we want to
got it.
move in the journey of top funnel to bottom funnel pretty quickly,
Yeah.
right? So there,
Yeah.
we have to always show urgency.
Got it.
Okay?
Got it.
Yeah.
Interesting. So, Vinay, so what does your team look like? Like, how many SDRs do you have? Who are the folks in your team sort of looking at all of this inbound lead that's coming in?
Two sales reps. Two
Got it.
sales
So,
reps.
how did you hire them? How did you find these people and hire them?
Yeah, so see, we are in the business of intelligence, so it's a little bit of different. Just like everybody will say that their business is different, so ours is different. So in our case, what we did is we had a bad experience of hiring and people leaving us for better jobs. So we said, you know what? Before we hire them, we will hire them as intern, and even before we hire them as intern, we will make sure they are certified in HubSpot marketing,
Oh,
right?
okay.
So we gave them a 7 day of course. These are the courses you gotta do, and if, only when you are certified in these courses from HubSpot or other channels, mainly HubSpot, I think, is then only
Uh-huh.
we will hire you as intern. After intern, we will give you a training, and we will let you handle calls after training, and but 3 months of training, and after that we take them full time, right? So
Oh, that's
because
yeah,
yeah,
it's very
so
interesting.
by doing HubSpot certifications, it was not onus was not on us, but on them to prove that they are worth it, right? And
Yes.
whoever did HubSpot certification, it took them at least 15 hours to do it. So that showed us that they are
Yeah.
hardworking. They have the intent to be hired. So that's how I, removed the noise. I took only the people who
Yeah.
are hardworking, have the intent. And
That's really helpful. Having like a framework to sort of clear out the noise, find the people who actually
yeah,
put in the work and are quality candidates, and then the whole hiring them as an intern and then having them graduate. That's a very interesting way of bringing in people. Um, so Vinay, now just changing tack a little bit, right? Given the current situation where there's a talk of recession coming and the slowing economies, especially in the US, are you facing any challenges when selling to perhaps a global audience?
challenges in terms of pricing,
Okay.
or the negotiation part of it. So suppose
Yeah.
we do a pilot and we have pricing fixed, or I mean the pricing was known before, but the buyer could come back and say that hey, see, funding is not there, or funding has been squeezed, recession
Yeah.
might come, so they will expect us to give them better discounts or significant discounts. So that's the biggest
Interesting.
challenge.
Okay.
The leads are
Okay.
still coming.
Okay. Is it also affecting, you mentioned 3 weeks for mid-market to SMB sort of sales cycle and of course longer for enterprise. Is it also affecting your sales cycle, time that deals take to close?
3 weeks. See, sales cycles. There are two, type. Obviously, there are both type of customers. Customer who's just
Hmm.
searching or come to shop, to come to inquire only. Customer who have already zeroed in on Zoom info, and are
Yeah.
using us as just a benchmark to
Right.
for their comparison. So, but if somebody wants to close, if the intent of the lead is good, it can still be closed in 1 to 3 weeks. We have
Okay.
had leads that
Interesting.
we have closed in 1 week also.
So interesting. So there is pricing pressure and
Pricing for
negotiations
yeah,
become a little bit of
yeah,
a hassle. But once a lead is truly qualified and there is intent, the time to close is still relatively
Yeah,
the
it's
same.
still the same. Yeah, that hasn't been
Interesting.
impacted. Yeah.
Interesting. And so you sell across, right? You sell in the US, you sell in the Middle East, you sell in India. So is it easier to perhaps earn a dollar rather than a rupee?
Yeah, it's always because maybe that's the impression that anyway I have been given also by others. But yeah,
Uh-huh.
like if I talk to expert marketers or sales guys in the US, they're not worried about, they know the value of our work. They know that they need this, right? So they don't, they are more interested in the accuracy of intelligence that we provide than the cost. Right? And they right? So they don't fight a lot or negotiate a lot on the cost, and but they fight a lot on the accuracy. But on the other
Okay.
hand, and they are more okay with the annual contracts also, and they also understand that, hey, if you pay me monthly, I will charge you 20% extra, right? But
Yeah.
if somebody is dealing with me in the rupee, he will say, hey, take out that 20% and I will still pay
Right.
you in rupee. So
Right.
those are the
So,
things there.
interesting, interesting. And Vinay, I mean, I think founders like you, like me, and a lot of others in the Upekkha cohort as well, who are sitting here in India but are trying to sell to the US market or in general, trying to sell globally, right? So, how do founders or first-time founders sort of get these conversations going with US prospects and customers while you're sitting here? Like you obviously had some experience, you lived there and things like
Yeah.
that, but what methods or techniques can folks use to sort of do that discovery and finding these initial clients globally?
Well, so yeah, so if you have relationships, just I had some, so obviously you will use those. But even if, irrespective of the channel, the first thing is the copy, the communication copy. If your
Mm,
communication copy sucks, if you struggle with writing the way that what you're offering, you're not gonna go far in the
mm-hmm,
American market, right? So whether it's an inbound channel or outbound or cold calling or cold email or even through reference, communication copy or your presentation deck, that has to be right. You cannot
mm-hmm,
have typos. You cannot have, other issues there. You cannot, make it look like, unprofessional or less than professional, right? That they don't give a damn, and I don't give a damn that it's, that you are bootstrapped or whatnot. I
yeah,
need a clear communication copy at least, even if it's on a blank white, template, right?
yeah,
That's the first
yeah.
thing because that
Okay.
puts me off for sure. I mean, but I'm not your customer. That puts a lot of people off, or it just tells that I'm talking to an international who's and remember who will want to talk to an unknown stranger who is international, right?
Sure.
So you will have to make them comfortable. So that's the first thing. Now again, so what I did in when I did not have relationships, you have to make relationships, right?
Mm,
So, and like, I got a lead from a company named salesgig.com 4 years back, and I did not know him, but I put my value proposition to him on LinkedIn, and, and I was able to close him,
mm,
right? So there are, I can give you more examples where I did not know the people, but I was able to build relationship with them in 3 months or 6 months, and they
yeah.
gave me leads or they became my leads.
Yeah.
So
So, Vinay,
if you
actually
are
talk a little bit more about that, right? When you say build relationships, how do you do that, right? I mean, are you talking like sending them regular updates? Are you saying that,
Yeah.
comment or engage with them on their LinkedIn posts? Like, what does building a relationship mean when you're not there in person to actually build those relationships?
Well, the I need to maybe I can use examples to do that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So I wanted to build relations with a professor who was coming to IIM Bangalore, and she didn't know me. She's very busy, and she was a professor here as a visiting professor. But and I communicated her via LinkedIn and email, and but it looked like she was hesitant. She just didn't know me, right? So I, but then you have to. Then I thought, okay. But then indirectly, what happened is I realized that I need to offer her something too, right? Something useful for her. And she writes, she writes a lot on LinkedIn,
Mm-hmm.
right? So what I realize is if I give her the problems in of B2B marketers in India, that could be useful for her,
Mm,
right? Because she writes a lot. So I offered her that, what are the startups or mid-market facing challenges here, and I offered her all that, and that became something that she can use in her writing, and she was ready to meet me. And since then, our relationship has become stronger. That she's my advisor now in my advisory board, right?
nice.
So, but it took a while, and I keep her updating every month, and we meet every quarter on video. But here is a journey from a cold call to an
Yeah.
advisor and a company, right? So,
That's amazing. And what I got out of that that you said,
uh,
Vinay, is that don't just expect something, but
yeah,
ask for something, or always offer something of value in
oh yeah,
return.
yeah,
Right? That is gonna
yeah,
allow you to sort of build those relationships, because relationships by themselves mean a two-way contract,
yeah,
right? So you have to
yeah.
give to
There you
get.
go. Yes.
Right? Makes
So that
sense.
brings me to actually maybe this is how I should have formalized. See, as a CEO or as a salesman or a founder, you are a marketer, and marketer does always do give and give, right? So if
Right.
you so that's all I'm doing all day every day, and I want you to do the same thing, to the audience. Give and give. Every time you think of, hey, how why am I not getting leads, think of give and give. Keep giving tips on LinkedIn or other channels, but those tips have to be useful. Your content or your tips or your nurture has to be meaningful and useful for your audience, not for you,
Right. Right.
right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Got it. So,
Uh-huh.
uh, maybe this is a question that perhaps leverages OceanFrog itself. But how do
Yeah.
you, as the CEO or leader of OceanFrog, uh, target your customers, engage them, and then sell your product globally? And I'm guessing OceanFrogs fits into the mix here, right? When you're doing your intelligence gathering about
Yeah.
your customers.
Yeah. So over a period of time, I have figured out, and our team has figured out, that by looking at the company, whether it's a fit for us or not, and whether the signals that they are sending in their hiring signals or their technology signals, mainly hiring signals, and whether they are fit for us or not, right? So if it's a cold prospect, no, I have not been. I have not been on the winning side. If I, first, uh, I have been on the winning side, or I do believe in pitching directly, right?
Mm-hmm.
I will get to the point quickly, even on
Mm-hmm.
LinkedIn messaging or on cold call or cold. And we have tried both, all three of them. I get to
Right.
the point quickly, and so does my team, right?
Right.
Because we don't know them, we have to build a relationship with them over coming years and months. Excuse me. But in the beginning, I don't have a choice but get to the point quickly, right? And we
Okay.
do have a nurture sequence also,
Right.
for emails and all, and we do measure open rate, click rate, and conversion rate. And but we do believe that the cold calling, cold email gives us a low conversion, and the game is really long-term game, right?
Okay.
If an inbound lead comes, we can close it in 3 weeks. If an outbound lead comes, it has to be longer. Still do not have our outbound processes well established, right?
Right.
As I said in the beginning, we are dependent on inbound to give us the business or partner referral program. And outbound, we are still experimenting. Our messaging and all is good. It's just scale is what we need to catch up. Right? So
And I've
again,
been
to
taking
summarize,
copious notes
yeah,
here.
yeah.
Yeah.
To summarize, I get to the point quickly when I'm pitching to an unknown person, because that's what I have seen that they appreciate. You don't want to talk first 5 minutes about your family and whatnot, or try to build relations by that. Respect his or her time by getting to the point quickly, and and offer the value. If they are interested, then fine. That's what I do. Even to people who I am in touch with last 10 years, that suppose I have to pitch something to them, Hey, say, hey, I have a new product or I have a new feature, and these are the details. Do you have interest in talking to me?
Got it. Got it. Got it. And correct me if I'm wrong, Vinay, but OceanFrogs was founded in what, 2017? Is that right?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. Okay. Good.
yeah,
All right. So if you were to start OceanFrogs today, what are, let's say, three things that you would perhaps do differently?
yeah. So first is I will build the audience, like So in
Mm,
our case also, I did build a prototype when I was doing a job. So that's a
mhm.
good and bad
Okay.
in a way, right? So and I will do differently is in the beginning I had pilots who I did even without being paid upfront. So that was a challenge. So but now we do not entertain anybody who do not wish pay us upfront. So if I were to do it different, I will ask for 100% in the beginning, and the scope also keeps changing for pilots, right? Even especially when you are a beginner. So I will freeze the scope because in my case, the scope changed a lot. Uh,
Mm,
so these are, and the third is audience. Audience I will build from day one. So
got
audience
it.
is the one that should be paid the most attention because
Mm,
it doesn't matter whether you provide the report or in an Excel or whatever form, you know, but
yeah.
right and just like even the other thing I will do is the pages website development. Remember,
Mhm,
Google takes a longer time to build reputation about your website, right?
mhm,
So if a business is there is 5 years ahead of you, the reputation of those pages from Google's perspective will be bigger or longer, I mean more. So if you could create more content on your website, now then 1 year later, Google is gonna respect that, and your
mm,
inbound might be better after a year, right? So again, to summarize it, pilots must be 100% paid upfront. Scope of the pilot should be frozen, or within a range. You could say that what you could do and what you could not do, but it should be written, and it should be
mhm.
agreed upon. It should be even, I will go to the extent that it should be signed off, right?
Right.
What I also do a trick is that in the scope also I write that the testimonial will be given by you and your logo will be visible on our website. And I do that for even within the pilot, the logo will be visible on our website. Right? So don't worry about the pilot succeeding or failing. The customer's logo will be on your website, right? That all should go in your contract. And the third thing is audience building, and the audience building and website pages building.
Okay, that's very very helpful, and I've been making notes as we go along, and I will definitely like even post this call, come back to you and pick your brain on some of these
Sure.
topics.
Yeah.
But I think I'm done with my questions. I think I saw there's a question on there, and I think you spoke about this, but what is your inbound channel mix, right? What are the things that you do on the inbound front? SEO, content, what else do you do? Like there's
See, so
webinars that I heard you
yeah,
do, right?
so we did webinars, but I don't have the objective for the webinars anymore. I mean, I don't know why am I doing
Sure,
webinars. It's mainly for branding and awareness, so I stopped doing it
I see.
because
Okay,
because I want to, when I talk to my team about the OKR, I need to relate it to my revenue numbers, and webinars are not related to my revenue numbers today.
hmm hmm
Right? Maybe it will be useful in future for branding and building brand and awareness, but that's not right. So in content marketing, so what I have realized, folks, is that it's all about content marketing if inbound is your channel, and even for
hmm
outbound. Content is the only thing that will take you to the next stage. That's what I have realized, or that's what
sure.
my opinion today is based on where, and it's based on my weaknesses in the past, right? So
Mhm.
in our case, we have identified the type of content, right? So like we are a data company, so we have something called listing pages, like list of customers of this type, that type. So what we realize is people are searching for them a lot.
Mm,
People are always searching for alternatives to Zoom Info, alternatives to Clearbit. So alternative pages work for us. Right?
Okay.
People, so we have figured out the content that should go on various channels, not only our blogs, but on LinkedIn and Quora and Medium. And that content is gonna take us to the next level. That's what we believe. Now, inbound
Nice.
marketing and content is just not about publishing. Uh, Obviously, SEO folks will tell you more. And so, in our case, we had a lot of top funnel leads, but we were not able
Mm.
to convert them. Why? Because we were not producing enough content to bring confidence, to bring trust, right? So, and because we were just not trained to do that, so I'm
Wow.
not an inbound marketer, so we were not trained. So we figured out that we do not have enough material that brings the trust, right? So we have started producing that type of content also. That some people might call it bottom funnel content that brings more trust, or that allows the reader or the audience to know more about us, or to know more about the domain that we are serving and why we are better than others, or why we are
Mm.
different than others. That type of content should also be worked upon, not only the top funnel, right? So generally, the tendency is to spend all your time on top funnel, or most of your time on top funnel, because there you know that what keywords to play with in inbound marketing.
Mhm.
Right? The same thing, in outbound marketing, you spend a lot of time in writing the right good copy or practicing for cold call. But once the call comes in, how do you qualify? How is your PPT, the deck right? Is it in the right sequence? Those are the things that are missing,
Okay.
right?
Makes
So we
sense.
spend more time on BOFU channels, or
Yeah.
bottom funnel channels, than top funnel channels.
Got it. And I think we're almost at time here. So,
Yeah.
Vinay, any closing comments, anything you'd like to leave us and the audiences with?
Yeah. So see, thank you for that. Thank you for giving me time and Upekkha also. If I were to redo it, as you were asking me, and if I have to give an advice, it's that there, even for any problem that you think of, there are many different variants of it, right? Like for us, I might have 5 or 6 different approaches, use cases for the same problem, right? But I did not know for a long time that which one of them will give me the high value problem. And I always thought that I know enough, and I'm smart enough to figure that out. And even though you talk to the customer, and customer wants to make you feel good, they might end up misleading you also sometimes, not always. So no matter what the situation is, that it's very important to find, that out of those 5 or 6 potential problems, which one should you do? And you cannot do all of them, right? Like even today, we are always trying to narrow it down further. And but in the beginning, we all think that, hey, by solving all those 5 or 6 problems, I can be the next billionaire, right? But actually, you just have to solve one out of those 6 problems, not all those 6 problems, right? So that's a mistake we
Got
did.
it.
We had five or
Yeah.
six problems, and we took longer to get to it. And the other thing that I have realized is, that the customers don't care whether you're a startup or not anymore.
Hmm.
Customers, in the calls where I have gone with a lot of confidence, with a, with the energy, or aggressive, not aggressiveness, but with a lot of energy and passion, I have won those deals,
Hmm.
right? Customers like to hear that this problem can be solved by you, right? And customers like to see the energy coming from a founder or a startup guy, because they know that you're a startup, right? So if you
Right.
can show the energy, the passion for this, right? Why should you show passion? Because that will say that you are in this game for a long time. Because you're a
Right.
startup, you need to tell that you are in this game for a long time, right? If you show passion somewhere, you will also be showing the domain knowledge.
Right.
So if you can prove yourself that yes, you do have the domain knowledge, you are there for long term, then doesn't matter that you are a startup, right? So that's why you
Got
should
it.
always go with with passion in these calls, and with the with the energy, positive energy in these calls.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. Well, Vinay, I mean, I think the takeaway here is that, have focus, like find out your high value problem fast and approach it with like all the passion that you have, right? I think if you
Yeah,
do that,
correct.
You will set yourself up for success. But thank you
Yeah,
so much, Vinay, for your time. Really appreciate all the insights that you gave us, and
sure.
thank you, Upekkha, for hosting this webinar.
Yeah,
You know where to reach us on LinkedIn, and feel free to connect and drop us notes or comments about the session and any questions that you might have. Thank you
sure.
so much, Vinay, and have a good evening.
Thank you, Robin. Thank you, Upekkha.
All right, bye.